Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Rulings regarding prayer. Qira'ah, Recitation, Part 1. One of the other obligatory parts of prayer is qira'ah, which means the recitation of Surah Al-Fatiha and the other surah obligatory dhikrs, tashahhud, and salam of the prayer. Surah Al-Fatiha must be recited after Takbiratul Ihram in the first and second rak'ats of prayer, except for the funeral prayer, and based on precaution, it should be followed by the recitation of a complete surah from the Holy Quran. However, in recommended prayers for which no particular surah has been mentioned, it would suffice to recite Surah Al-Fatiha without having to recite the other surah. Nonetheless, in all prayers, one can generally choose all the surahs of the Quran for the recitation of the other surah, except for the 4 surahs that contain obligatory sajdas. Furthermore, Surah Al-Fil and Surah Quraysh, and similarly Surah Al-Duha and Surah Al-Inshirah are counted as one surah. When reciting Surah Al-Fatiha and the other surah, the following rules must be observed. It is obligatory for men to recite Surah Al-Fatiha and the other surah aloud in Fajr, Maghrib, and Isha prayers. And it is also obligatory for men to recite them in Dhuhr and Asr prayers in a low voice. Similarly, it is obligatory for a woman to recite Surah Al-Fatiha and the other surah in Dhuhr and Asr prayers in a low voice, but concerning Fajr, Maghrib, and Isha prayers, she has a choice to recite them loudly or in a low voice, unless there is a non-mahram around who can hear her voice, in which case, based on a recommended precaution, the woman should recite the 2 surahs in a low voice. It should be noted that reciting aloud means letting out the vocal essence and tone of voice, but not raising one's voice higher than normal, as if they are shouting, in which case the prayer will be invalidated. Likewise, reciting in a low voice means that the voice must not reveal its essence, as if one is whispering, but not merely making the words pass through the heart. But if, out of forgetfulness, one recites Surah Al-Fatiha and the other surah in a low voice, say Isha prayer, or recite them aloud in Dhuhr prayer, the prayer will not be invalidated. However, as soon as they remember, they must perform the rest of the prayer correctly. We will explain the rest of the issues pertaining to qira'ah in the next episodes. Institute for compiling and publishing the works of Ayatollah Makarim Shirazi.